Buenos dias. What is Gucci? Good morning. It is a beautiful day today, and I'm gonna try canning apples for the first time. So, like, I've canned once years ago. I literally just did a water bath of jam. So I got my, this was a Christmas present. This is my water bath canner. There's a rack inside there. I'm using that. And I'm going to be using this stock pot for blanching the apples. And then I got my tools, your funnel. This is to take the jars out. This is your debubbler, and then my rack that I can put the cans, or rather the jars on after they come out of the water bath. I have a couple jars. I'm not sure how much I'm going to get. This is just a bag of Macintosh apples. They're my favorite, so we're going to can these in simple syrup, inspired by Bev, again, our half-acre homestead. So I will make a simple syrup out of sugar and water for these, and then I'll put them in the jars, and then put them in the water bath. So first, I have to peel these, but what I'm going to do is get a little bowl ready with some lemon juice in it, because you don't want these to go brown while you're peeling and cutting them up. Alright, so I'm all set up here. I've got my bowl with some water and a little bit of lemon juice in it. And so now I'm just gonna peel and slice these up, put them in the bowl. Okay, I've got all the apples peeled and sliced. This is probably the most time consuming part. This is taking me about half an hour to do a whole bag of apples. There's all the scraps there I'm going to put in the compost. I'm not sure if I said it before, but we soak these apples while we're cutting and peeling in water with a little bit of lemon juice. It needs that acid to prevent the apples from browning. So I'm going to prepare the sugar syrup now, and then while it's working, I will wash and sterilize these jars. They are brand new jars, but you still need to sterilize them before use. Okay, so over to the stove. I've got water in my stock pot. This is going to be for blanching the apples. So while I'm waiting for that to get up to temperature, I'm going to start on the simple syrup. I'm not quite sure how many jars I'm going to get, but I'm going to go with putting, you got an equal ratio. So I'm going to put 3 cups of sugar to 3 cups of water in for the syrup. And see what that does. You want to add a little shot of lemon juice into the simple syrup as well, and give it a stir. Simple sugar syrup is ready to go. I'm just waiting for the blanching water to finish heating up, and I've got my jars sterilized and my lids cleaned and in hot tap water. One thing that's important though, I'm going to reheat these because they cool quickly before I can, because you want the apples, if the apples are hot, then the jars need to be hot, because when they go into the canner, you don't want the jars to crack. So I will heat these up again, but these are all washed and ready to go. We're just waiting on the blanching water. Okay, our water's ready to go. So I'm just gonna dump the apples in there, and we're gonna put the timer on for 3 minutes. Okay, apples are in. We're gonna set the timer for 3 minutes. I lack space. We've got our jars and we've got our apples. Let's get moving. I'm gonna put the debubbler in right inside. And then we're gonna pour the simple syrup over top. leaving an inch from the top, a ½ inch to an inch from the top. We're gonna debubble that. Always wipe your lid as well, like your rim, sorry, before you put the lid on. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that. Then you want to put your lid on. And your ring. You just want to do these finger tight. So I only got 3 jars out of all those apples, 3 half-liter jars, but that's okay. We're gonna get them put into the canner now. So the rack in here is not really the greatest. I'm not really sure if this is gonna work. This is my first time canning, but I've put the 3 jars in there. I'm going to bring it to a boil and then I'm gonna let it go for 20 minutes. Okay, it's been 20 minutes now, the timer's gone off, so I've turned off the heat and we are gonna let this cool naturally. We're not gonna touch it because it's gonna be very hot. We're just gonna let it cool down naturally, and then we'll take the jars out and put them on the rack to finish cooling. And there they are, out of the canner. Now you can hear I got some syrup on the floor, so I gotta get to mopping. So 3 half-liter jars out of that bag of apples. Not too bad, but I feel for my first time canning, this was an absolute disaster. Like, I feel like everything that could go wrong did go wrong. I'm not sure if I got all the bubbles out. I'm not sure if these jars sealed. The rack was all like funny in there. The jar, I don't know. And then, you know, spilling stuff on the floor. And like banged up my finger pretty good by dropping a jar before I filled it. I got butterfingers. But I'll come back and let you know if this worked out. Hopefully it did. Here we are 24 hours later. To my surprise, the jar is actually set. So they sealed, I guess. So all 3 jars, no popping up at all. I was actually really surprised. For my first time canning, I mean, everything was like a disaster yesterday. So the fact that these jars sealed and everything like worked out in the end, I'm very happy. Definitely gonna do things a bit differently next time. I've learned through this whole process. It also doesn't help that I have like butterfingers. Like, I was dropping stuff and spilling stuff everywhere, but I've like learned some more since yesterday through that process. So I'm sure I'll can again. So keep an eye out for future vids. Till next time.